Hello everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick demo of the data browsing capabilities I've added to FogLAMP, which we need for the demo. This will just show that you can access the readings in the buffer. So just to let you know, the setup I've got is FogLAMP is running on a Ubuntu, and as you can see on the screen, Postman, which is running on my local laptop, and it's connected through. So the connection is via the address 192.168.56.101 on the standard FogLAMP REST API port that we've got set up at the moment. We probably need to define what that port's going to be longer term, but that's what we're using now for development. You can see I've got a URL with FogLAMP asset, and what this does is let you, via a get method, have a summary of the assets that are held in the buffer currently. So if I run this, what you see we get back is an array of JSON objects. Each one contains a count and the asset code, and that count is basically how many readings we hold for that particular asset. One thing you'll notice that if you look at this data, it's got all sorts of strange sense and asset code names, and that's because my database is full of junk basically. But obviously that won't be the case when we do a real demo. It's also quite old data, unfortunately, and I'm not running at the moment with my sensor tag, so this data is static as well. But that gives a flavour of what's in there, and then you can take that further, and there's another entry point which lets you actually look at a particular asset and get things back. Now unfortunately, the ones with the real data in it have got a slightly difficult name for a REST API because they've got spaces in it. However, as you can see, I've done this before, so I've got it in my history. So this %20 is of course encoding the space, and the %2f is the slash that's in there. So this one's going to get us, actually not, let's not do the ambient, let's do that URL. So this is going to get us data on the temperature part, so that's this one here. So that asset code we're going to see some data back from, and in fact what we get when we hit the send and do the get on that URL is a set of readings in time order, going backwards in time. No, it's not, it's going, okay, in time order, and that's giving us that we've got the JSON that's come from the co-op server, cope server, whatever, however we're meant to say it these days, and you can just see that they're there. Now the default is it returns 20. You can change that because there's a limit you can put on it, and you can say give me 4 for instance. That's the first 4. If you really ambitious, you can say give me 100, give me 1,000, whatever, so we can actually see them. And obviously that's all the data that's there. You can actually limit it further by, if I go back to just getting a small number because it fits on the screen nicely, you can say that you want readings from the last number of hours. So let's go for the last 72 hours. Now there may not be any because this is old data. Let me see what comes up. There are none in fact. So let's go for 150 hours and see what we get back. No, my data is obviously very old. 300 hours. It would have been better if I'd thought to load some new data for this demo, so apologies for that. But there you go, you can see what it is, as well as hours. You've also got the option of minutes. Now obviously to get back, I forget how many hours that was, 300 hours, it's a lot of minutes, so I won't bother running this, but you can say, you know, I want the last hour's worth. Well, that would be silly, you could use hours equals 1. Last 30 minutes worth. You can also do it with seconds, and you can say give me the last 400 seconds worth, say. So that's there. The next thing you can do is if you look at those readings, obviously inside that reading object there are multiple sensors themselves. So we've got the ambient temperature and the object temperature, so we can say just give me the ambient temperature, and there we go, we've just pulled out the ambient temperatures and not brought the object temperature back, just to prove it's not a setup. I'll try one I haven't tried before, which is the object temperature. Temperature is not a great one because it doesn't vary that much between these readings, because if you look there once a second. Obviously when I ran this test, it was quite a warm day here in the UK because it's 27 degrees Celsius, which is nice and toasty. So there's the object temperature. You can also say, give me a summary of the object temperature. Right, sorry, before I do that, I'll say you can also apply all those same filters. So you can say limit equals 6. You can do the hours, the minutes, the seconds in the same way on just the temperature if you want. Sorry, just the object temperature if you want just the ambient temperature. The other thing you can do is you can say give me the summary. And what the summary does is takes the object temperature and gives you a min, max and average. So at some point my sensor tag has got very cold because I have a minimum of 12.2. Not sure when that was, possibly overnight. Although I did show it to my son, and his first move was put it in the fridge. But that doesn't. If our fridge is 12.2, I think we've got a problem. Never mind. Anyway, there's the object temperature, and again you can do the hours and the minutes, the seconds on this, so that you can get the average over a certain number of hours. So if you wanted to look at the average for the last 24 hours, you can say hours equals 24. And obviously that's not going to do anything because my data's too old. But it's there as an option. The other thing you can do is a thing called series. What series does is it effectively does the same thing as giving you min, max and average, but it does a group by, so that it actually groups it into the time buckets. At the moment the time buckets are quite limited. You can do seconds, minutes or hours. If you don't pass anything there, it will do simply seconds, which, given that our sensor tags produce a new reading once a second, is not exactly exciting. But if we say group equals minutes, then you'll see that we've done it in minutes, and now we actually do have something, because it's, if you notice, the timestamps don't have seconds in them anymore, and we've got a min, max and an average, which is not between the min and the max. So you know, with just seconds, the min and the max are always the same because there's only one reading a second. And likewise, you can group it by hours. And there it is. And you can also apply the limits, so that you could say, give me a series of the last 1,000 readings, give it to me for the last 5 hours only. So you can group by hours, and you can, so how many have we got here, for instance? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I said, oh no, that's not going to work, of course, because I need to go back a certain number of hours. But you could say hours equals 5, and you would only get 5 hours worth. But obviously, because this is old data, that won't work for me, because it's what, the 10th at 5, and it's now the 21st when I'm making this recording, so I need to go back 11 days. Anyway, I think that gives you the idea, even if it doesn't, if I can't actually demonstrate it with this data. But you can also, I think, run the limit on this. Not that I've ever tried it, so let's try it. So if we have 4, there we go, you've got 4 of them. So that's the last 4 hours worth of readings we have. So anyway, this is not really a final solution for what we want to do for the sort of edge analytics side of things, the user API that Iram has been specifying, but this is something that I've put together very quickly just to have something in the demo, because a part of those demo criteria we've been asked to show that we can retrieve data that's buffered in FogLAMP, or the module as I call it. So there you are, that's just a flavour of what I've done. Okay, thanks everyone.